What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my horror corner. I'm Drop Dead Fred. Hope you're all having a great day, great week, and just want to send nothing but positive vibes and energy out there. It's been a while, and our channel is transitioning. Yes, our channel. It is you and I and you. With that being said, let's just dive right into it. Today, we are looking at the 1920s classic silent horror film, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Now, I'm probably going to get some of these names wrong. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced anything. My apologies, but good intentions. The movie is directed by Robert Wine, and it came out in 1920s, around like the early 20th century of the German Expressionism movement. It's an art movement that happened back then. It had to do a lot with artists' like inner emotions and feelings and ideas being expressed, and rather than realistically, they would use like abstract imagery, weird shapes, bright colors, shadows, weird brushstrokes, etc. The movie stars Warner Cross, who plays Dr. Caligari. We also have Friedrich Verheer, sorry if I say that wrong. He is the narrator of the entire movie. And we have, last but not least, Conrad Veidt. I had to look this up. I've heard of this inspiration, but this guy, he plays in this movie called The Man Who Laughs, another silent film. This character in this movie is the one that inspired the Joker character for Batman. I've had a friend tell me that before, but I never really knew too much about it. But this is so cool watching like pre that, because this guy, there's one scene especially where he's like maniacally like laughing, which is, I can totally see it. So the really cool thing about this movie is it has got some layers. Just like ogres, ogres have layers. This movie's got layers. And that kind of took me by surprise. Now, I'm not trying to say like, people back then were dumb and non-complex at all. But the story follows the tale of a madman or mad doctor, hypnotist, whatever you will, a mystic, or as they refer to him in the movie, a mountebank, which is a person who deceives people for money, which doesn't make sense because that's not really Caligari's MO. Anyways, the story follows Dr. Caligari and his sleepwalker by the name of Cesare. I'm going to just call him that. I don't know how you fucking pronounce that name. And he's also referred to as a somnambulist, which is essentially a sleepwalker. And he uses Cesare to commit these grisly murders in the small little town of Holston. Now, the whole movie is narrated by Francis. It starts off with him on a bench, and he's telling us this entire story about this crazy fucking doctor that comes in and uses a damn sleepwalker to kill like fucking 3-4 people. What about like 2, really? Cool is because it's like a flashback. Like the movie starts off with Francis on the bench, and he's like, he's talking to some elderly dude, and he's just like, yeah, dude, chill out. I got a fucking story that's gonna top your shit. And we go into this whole movie about this mad doctor using this sleepwalker, which is really cool. It's a really cool concept. It's like early 1920s, so I'm assuming, I don't know too much, but it's probably like one of the first ones to do this type of thing. Fucking awesome. I don't want to spoil anything too much. I went into this blind. I had no idea. I've heard the name only, and I had no idea what it was about. I actually didn't even know it was a silent film, to be honest. But this movie's ending is so fucking cool, dude. I absolutely recommend just watching it, fully investing an hour and however long it's not too long, however much time it is. Fully just put your phone down and fully just immerse yourself into it because it's definitely a damn good story. So some of the really cool things I like about this movie are the set designs. Even from when he's just sitting on the bench at the very beginning, this very gothic feel. There's also a scene of the town Holston wall with all these little pointy houses. It looks really freaking cool. Every like set design in the background and the set pieces just look freaking irregular and odd. The chairs are huge. The windows like bend at an angle. There's even a few shots where you can just see like the little town, the little street, and it just looks so odd. I fucking absolutely love it. And I'm not even gonna lie, when I first watched this, one of the first things that came in my mind was Tim Burton. Like straight up. Instantly I was like, dude, this feels like a Tim Burton fucking movie. But no, Tim Burton movies feel like Dr. Caligari. It's so insane how much you can get, how much roots this has into the horror genre I've seen some people say this is like the birth of the horror genre. Another really cool thing I liked was the costume of Cesare. He's just like wearing all black. I liked his movement. He's very creepy, just moving still. And his eyes, like around his eyes, are painted black. I fucking love that. Now, I was trying to nitpick at what I didn't like, but there was two things that stood out to me that I didn't like. And I'll be straight up. I never went to film school. I've never took film class. I'm just learning as I go. My channel had to transition, so I really decided to go with classic horror because it's something I've never really delved into. But two things I did not like about this, I felt like there should have been more text cards. I don't know. It was hard for me to interpret, especially the first time around. I had to watch this movie a few times to finally figure out, okay, I get it now. There's also another version on Amazon Prime. There's two, the original version. There's like some restored version with added dialogue that I didn't mind too much. It kind of helped me understood a little bit more what's happening, but I'm basing my whole review off the silent version for sure. Now, the other thing I didn't really like or understood was this might be a potential spoiler, so heads up now, if you haven't seen it, I apologize. Fair warning, this is the only type of spoiler, and it's not too much of a spoiler really, but when you look at the grander picture of the movie, but there's essentially a chase scene where they're chasing after Cesare, and he's just out of nowhere, he just like has a stroke, a fucking heart attack, a brain aneurysm, I don't know, he just like, and he ends up collapsing. And that was it. And I don't get it. It just didn't make sense to me. I felt like, damn, my boy should have went out a fucking better way than that. But hey, that's mindless obedience, I guess. I don't know. So really quick, some of my favorite scenes in the movie. The whole movie. No, the first time Cesare is awakened, I thought that was really cool, really done well, very creepy. There's another scene where he's staring into Jane. That's a woman, just some woman in the movie where Francis is like it's like a love figure, triangle type of thing. But he's staring into her eyes as well. That was very fucking creepy to just imagine watching this 1920s average person, and you see this creepy freaking dude and a text card comes up, "You die at dawn." Like, what the fuck? I gotta talk about two scenes that are probably the most notable scenes in the entire movie, and I have to just mention them. The first scene with Alan dying. Alan is just a friend of Francis in the movie, but he's awakened in his bed, and that's already scary alone. But imagine 1920s just watching somebody get murdered in their bed. That's like, fuck. You gotta take your mind out of it, like your modern mindset, and just watch this with like, dude, how would I have reacted back then? So seeing this, the first scene where this like shadowy figure comes up to this dude, and you see the dude, he's like, no, puts his hands up, and he's getting strangled. Then you see the knife come out, just one jab, done. You're dead, kid. Second scene that probably gets talked about, probably more than that scene, is the scene where Cesare is creeping his way into Jane's room. And like I said earlier, everything is so distorted in the background, the way these buildings are shaped and everything. So he's like walking along this wall, and he's kind of just like moving himself, and it's so weird to see his body kind of like contort with this freaking wall, and he creeps up into her window, breaks the railing off, and I love this scene right here. It's like I said, it probably gets talked about the most. He slowly makes his way to her, and he stands over and he brings up the knife, and he's about to just, you're dead. But for some reason he stops, he halts. Why? Is she beautiful to him? Has he never seen beauty before? Like, supposedly he's been sleeping for 25 years. It's probably the first woman he sees. And it's just fuck. I don't know. It's such a good scene right there. And she wakes up and he just starts strangling the shit out of her. It's so crazy, dude. And like I said, watching this in 1920, seeing this dude manically, crazy laughter. And he's fucking just going at it, and he fucking kidnaps her. He's running through the rooftops, which look insanely cool. It's just, this whole movie, I absolutely love it. There's something about these movies that I just are so captivating, and to see this like birth of this genre in this one movie was just amazing. So overall, my closing thoughts would be that I highly recommend you just putting this on, turning everything off, and fully investing your time in it, because it's such a feverish tale and a brutal one at that for its time. There's definitely a message in there and an underlining tone about authority and mindless obedience. So with that being said, I hope you all have a great night, great day, and happy spookies.